Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I recently got a new mic, and you will not believe how much I hate Apple laptops. Like, before we get into the video, the amount of work that I had to do, the amount of difficulty I face just trying to get a good screen recording quality on my Apple laptop, my MacBook Pro, and try to use my mic. Oh my god. And I decided to hop into my PC, and then boom, it worked right away with no fucking problem. So thank God, finally I got everything working. So basically, today's videos, besides that tangent, it was just to go over a overview of what crypto is doing right now. So just to get like an overview and my outlook, basically, if you watch this video, my channel for a couple of times, you know I really subscribe to Crypto University's idea of this box thesis, right? His box theory. This is all his theory. I just took it and then giving all credit to him. But honestly, this is a very good theory because it shows that within every single market cycle there is some sort of mid-cycle pullback, right? So if we go over here and go look at the RSI, right? Clearly, we always tend to get overextended first, and then we have this little pullback mid-cycle, and there are coincidences with the bottom of this box, and then after that, after we break out of it, we go to new highs. So we did that here, we did that here with this, right? This little bounce. And my argument and his argument too was that we were kind of doing the same thing over here, little bounce, going back to the support line, hitting the support line of this box, and he's saying that soon we'll be going to new all-time highs. So also, it's very important to note that if you know the intensity of the pullback is different for every cycle, right? This one went down like by like a bunch of RSI points, right? This one went down just a little bit on the RSI. So maybe this time we're going a lot deeper than normal, right? This one was a little bit than normal, but this one is a lot more than normal. So maybe we're just doing that this time. But also, you could definitely make an argument where, it seems like we're headed lower, right? We're headed lower on the RSI when usually we would just bounce, immediately get some sort of low point and go higher. We haven't really been doing that. But if we just look closer and look at the 20 and the 50 moving averages, I'm going to change this to purple because I like that color the most. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that if we look at this, right, what's been going on here, right, a lot of people called this out before, that we're going to bounce off of this 50 weekly moving average. And because we've done it so many times in the past before, right, we've done it here, right, a little bounce, but we went down lower. Over here we did a bounce, touched the resistance, but we went down lower. We did it back in this cycle. We touched the 50, we went up, we bounced, and then we went down lower. So everyone is saying that we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bounce off the 50. We're going to either hit this as resistance, or we're going to like chill up here at 50, but then ultimately go down a lot lower. So my personal outlook is that, yes, there is a lot of indication that says, okay, historically we do have these mid-cycle pullbacks. But then something like this comes along and is like, okay, sure, maybe 1 or 2 years from now we're so bullish, but maybe like 3 months, like for the next 3 or 6 months, we're gonna head down to like maybe this area. And so maybe like really on the short term, this 200-day moving average, 44,400, is the same line as over here at 40, pretty much at 43,600. So the 20 weekly moving average and the 200 daily moving average is the same resistance, which basically means this is an extremely powerful resistance zone. So we haven't hit that yet. So maybe for the next couple of days we will consolidate and then hit the highs right here. And from there, I have no idea if we're going to bounce off the 20 or we're going to do something like, oh, I accidentally moved something, where we bounce off the 50 and then get above the 20, but then we just consolidate here and then ultimately move lower. So if we were to move a bit lower, it's very likely that we hit something like, yeah, I was on the right one. So this is a really good site. Look into Bitcoin. I've been looking at this site for a long time, and it shows that every single time when we hit when we're at the bottom of the bear market, we always hit this line, the 200 week moving average. So basically, the idea is that every time we've done some sort of move like this, which was here and here, we always move back to this 200 weekly moving average, right? And this is the same line, this orange line, or this orange line and this purple line is the same line. So that's the risk that we take, right? So I personally don't think it's a market cycle top. I think, okay, also because we can't imagine it's like 2032, right? Do you really think that Bitcoin's going to be doing the exact same thing over and over and over again? Right? The way that markets work is that market participants learn over time and they adapt, meaning other people will adapt to what they do. So honestly, this structure and these patterns that we have, right, there might be an overall general pattern, but then like the specifics of it, of like what color it is, and then specifically we're gonna bounce off the 50 and do this because we did that in past couple cycles. I think over time, and a lot of other people would agree, is that over time these patterns will no longer be valid, and that's, Bitcoin will throw like a curveball at us. So maybe this time like we don't need to like go all the way down here, right? Maybe we do something different where like, yes, all the indications do say that we are going to come back over here. So this line will probably move up by the time we hit, like, as we go further along in time. So maybe like 18,000, which is what I am completely fine with. Actually, I really do want us to go back to 18,000 because then I could buy more for a lot cheaper. But it's just like you got to be very cautious because, things are changing and things can be different every single time. And it will change, right? So, yeah. So who knows? So a lot of things can be different for the next like 5 weeks, right? The next 5 weeks will determine pretty much if we're going to be following this, right? These little yellow boxes that we drew over here. Oops, this one belongs here. And if we're just going to go, right, like what we did here and over here. Or we could do something like this where we like fall over and then we hit back to the 200 weekly moving average. So that's just my general outlook on Bitcoin. And the reason why that's important, because whatever Bitcoin does, pretty much Ethereum and ADA will do. But then if you look on the monthly, right, Ethereum looks very bullish. Like when you see candles like this, where this is like the support right now, right? Like at this level, right? Once you see something where we touch it and then we immediately bounce higher, it's extremely bullish, especially if you see stuff like that on the monthly. So like, for example, you see this candle structure being very similar to this one. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing, right? It's kind of like the same bouncing like bottom market structure or candle structure, right? It's like you see that in this time period, right? We would bounce up and then we would make these candles, like kind of like what we're doing here, right? This is also coincidentally the same. So this mid-cycle pullback in 2017, September and October, what the heck? Was basically this, right? That's why Ethereum pulled back. And you could see that it was so bullish because it had these bullish monthly candles. But of course, you could have something like this that just makes it go lower. But, in general, I would say that this is a bit bullish. And there is a sort of interesting trend line here right there that Ethereum just hit. So I just thought that was also very interesting. Here, let me draw it. Oh, Jesus. Try to draw it a little better. Right. So something, it's kind of rough, but like something like that, right? We're kind of like bouncing off of this long-term trend that we have. And so ADA, similar argument as Ethereum. Like, look at these candle structure, right? Look at this beautiful support that we had like on the highs, right? Somewhere around this zone, right, is a lot of support, right? And in crypto, it's important to use zones instead of like specific lines because crypto is a lot more volatile. So like if you just do something like that, right, this is the previous resistance zone now acting as support. This is textbook bullish. And especially when you like look at the structure of these candles with these long wicks, right? Whenever you see something like that on the bottom, it times are reversed. So that's just my general outlook. Bearish short term, bullish long term. Don't try to time the markets, just buy and hold. So if you guys enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.